Hello, it's Claire here from JH Coaching, and today I thought I'd talk to you about calories and how many calories you burn when you run. Lots of runners are really concerned about having a healthy weight, and it is really important to have enough calories to fuel all your training runs and all your races, but it's also really important to be a healthy weight, not too light because then you're going to have injuries and get ill, but not too heavy either because you want to be able to run at an optimum pace, and carrying extra weight will restrict that. So a good way to do this is to track your calories to make sure you're having a healthy diet. In terms of running, an average ballpark figure for the average person running on flattish terrain at a conversational pace is about 100 calories per mile. That's 60 calories per kilometre. What you'll notice is that I've used a lot of averages in that sentence, and we're not all average. I, for example, am not an average weight or an average height, coming in at 5'2" and weighing in at about 101 pounds. I have no idea what that is in metres, but it's about 46 kilograms in weight. So not exactly average. Being lighter, I'm probably on that flattish terrain at a conversational pace, going to be burning less calories, and as a matter of fact, I know I do. How do I know that? I use my watch to track my calories. Most exercise watches these days are pretty good at tracking calories, and if you really want to nail the number of calories that you're burning run by run, then a watch is the way forward for several reasons. One, because you might be like me, a bit of an outlier. You might be a bit heavier than the average person, or a bit lighter, a bit taller. Or also, it might be that you don't do all your training at a conversational pace. A lot of most serious athletes don't. So some of your training you're going to be doing faster, and the faster you run, the more calories you're going to burn. Equally, if you're like me and you're keen on trail running and getting out in the mountains, you're going to be burning more calories. You're going to be going up some steep climbs. You're not always going to be running. Sometimes you're going to be scrambling and practically climbing up things. And at times you're going to be going downhill where you can go fast, but you're probably not expending as much energy because gravity is on your side. So having a watch that accurately measures each time you go out the number of calories that you burn is a really good way to keep track of things. Speaking of keeping track, it's really good just to make sure that you are eating healthily and getting enough food to fuel your runs. And a good way to do this is to use an app. My personal preference is MyFitnessPal. Part of the reason for this is because in addition to the calories that you're burning while you're running, you also just need to eat calories just to live, just to sit and breathe. And MyFitnessPal does a really good job of estimating those calories. This is something that's called your base metabolic rate. There are formulas that you can use to help you do that, but I personally just think if there's an easier way to do it, I'll do it that way, and MyFitnessPal seems to work for me. So long as when you open your account, you put in all the details that you need to put in. That way you know it's going to be accurately. Equally, with the watch, when you first get your watch and you set it up, you need to accurately input all the information that it asks of you. Things like, in particular, your weight, your height, and whether you're male or female. That way it's going to really nail the calories and have an accurate way of working out what you're burning. So, once you've got your MyFitnessPal up and running and you can link MyFitnessPal to your watch, it will automatically input the calories you burn from training. If you input the calories yourself manually into MyFitnessPal, my personal experience is it tends to overestimate the calories I burn. Whichever way you choose to do it, what you will find, especially if you're someone who does a lot of racing or big training blocks at the weekend, is that your calories are going to be a bit heavy on the weekend. And in fact, if you do ultra running, it's going to be pretty much impossible for you to consume all the calories you need on the day you do your massive training run. So my personal way of making sure that I manage that I eat my calories, enough calories throughout the week, is I work out by looking at my watch and observing the calories that I use and burn with my running. I work out how many calories I use and burn in the week. And it varies slightly, so I have a number of calories that I might burn on an easy week and a number of calories I burn on a hard week. But once I've got that number, I divide the total number of calories I burn when I run for the whole week by 7. So effectively, I'm dividing the total number of calories burned in the week so that I've got calories per day. Once I've got that number divided by 7, I add the divided number by 7 to my base metabolic rate. So on a hard week for me, my base metabolic rate stays at 1500 calories, and then on a hard week I then need to add another 600 calories per day to that base metabolic rate, and that more or less accurately helps me to have the correct number of calories spread throughout the week. That's really good, especially for things like if you've done an epic run on a Sunday but you rest on the Monday. It really isn't ideal on your rest day when your muscles are still replenishing themselves and your body's still recovering to restrict your calories to just your base metabolic rate of calories. So it helps recover if you do that too. The other thing that I like to do is to just keep an eye on things, just because, you know, at certain times of the year I'm training a lot harder, I might be burning more calories and not really kept up to date with everything. So I do keep track of my weight, and I weigh myself every Friday. Friday is weigh day, and that's a good way for me to just keep a track of how much I weigh and make sure that I'm not putting on unwanted weight, but also that I'm not falling too light as well. So being a healthy weight is really important. I hope you found this video useful. If you like this kind of video and you want more helpful tips about running and training and coaching, then do subscribe to this channel, and if you click the bell, you'll get notified every time we put up a new video, so you'll never miss one. Thanks a lot. Bye.